A big welcome as we move into Series 2 of the video series Experience Living Purposefully into Your Very Own Story. Series 2 is of experiences 11 to 20, and each one of these 10 experiences is some aspect of my very own stories that interweave. And experience 15 is specifically of pools of pain. Let us pause. Sit comfortably on your chair. Leave all else as distraction as you let your inner being reveal to you how you are in your private self arena right now. Hold whatever is revealed gently without adjustment. Soak or rest in how it is for you and receive what revealed itself graciously. When the time is right for you, let your awareness return to the energy in the room. Take one more moment now to ask yourself, how was that for me? Perhaps a word, phrase, sense, image emerges, and perhaps make a note of this. And you've just engaged your observer self. And so we have these 4 terms that I've arrived at to describe energy of stored patterns. No, patterns of stored energy. Survival strategy, how we cope with how we perceive the world to not be perfect. And while that's operating and patterns are developing, which can go into overdrive or do go into overdrive at some stage of our life, there are other things which are first unconscious in our private self arena, which I have named inner self-awareness wipeouts. And we're looking at how these integrate into our lives. But before we actually do that, we need to look at, for every shovelful that went into the first mountain, there's a shovelful of pain also went into the second mounting, as well as a strength of the inner self-awareness wipeout. So this experience is about underpinning these inner self-awareness wipeouts. There are realities that I'm calling pools of pain. And so I've added these pools to the diagram of the 2 mountains with the namings. And now I'm adding that to the examples. They were there all the time, and they haven't been revealed to the people until later in life. Solved a problem at 10, pain acceptor, etc., brought into action. Inner self-awareness wipeout did not play, and the pain was escaped, like she's afraid and I'm not. In the womb, no kicking, gave up freedom to be herself. What was inner self-awareness wipeout was living freely, and the thing is, there was more confining limits in her life than the normal pattern. Pool of pain, because it's not right. In the womb, and she sensed that she was not wanted, the strategy made herself indispensable. What was inner self-awareness wipeout was integrating herself, and the pool of pain was picking up from all of that, I'm unimportant. At birth, separated from the mother, her survival strategy was embrace joy now. What was hidden was that grounding sense of safety that most of us have to a higher degree than she did, and the pool of pain was about being insecure. The mother who dies at 4 can't trust people. Her survival strategy, loved and trusted big animals. What was inner self-awareness wipeout was people are trustworthy, and the pool of pain was not loved. Consequence. Sexually abused by her father from 4 to 16. The experience was, I have no rights. Survival strategy, use and abuse are acceptable. What was in inner self-awareness wipeout, that she had a right to expect respect, and then for every time she wasn't respected, there's not respected in the pool of pain, added to that pool of pain. Constant negative sayings, you're not like, you're no use. Eventually, believe and act so. What is hidden is, you are of use. This is not all of you. There's a truth there. But there's a pain in taking on board that you're not useful. So every time you took it on board, that pool of pain is increased. Failed an exam at 17, deep shock. Survival strategy was harshly self-critical and used study as an escape. What was hidden was there are ups and downs in life, and it's okay. And the pool of pain was about failure and inadequacy. Living a role, real self on hold, and so the survival strategy was to concentrate more than the normal on other people's needs. And then what was hidden is, I have realities that are mine and needs, and the pool of pain is out of little sense of self. Now, pools of pain build up. In these areas where the pool of pain is, the person with whatever flavour has not got the same learning curve as others who will have their pools of pain associated with their unique inner self-awareness wipeout. So about pools of pain, here are some points to note. There is likely to be a very strong emotional reaction when one of these pools of pain bursts into consciousness for the first time, e.g., tears welling up without warning, floods of tears, strong, loving, touching the heart, physical and emotional reactions. When this happens, it is good news about the invitation to grow into wholeness. An inner self-awareness wipeout is on the horizon to come into consciousness. And also that strong emotional reaction is actually a releasing of a dam that's been built up and is therefore healing. Time for you now to let an experience surface when you felt some form of painful reaction surfacing unexpectedly from within. Notice in this now any feelings that followed the emergence then. my summary. For every action or choice in our conscious outer world stance, there are feeling reactions and other potential consequences in our private self arena, stored in our well of sensory memory. Underpinning these feeling reactions and other potential consequences are pools of pain. There are times when these pools of pain burst into our consciousness, sometimes unexpectedly and with high emotional reality. Noel Davis, in his poem, The Dark Side of Now, encapsulates the reality of pools of pain in a really inspiring way. The dark side of now. Yes, the dark side is ever here, the underbelly of our unfolding stories. Neglected, disturbed, disruptive, persistent. The rebels from the depths of our dreaming are constant visitors in the 7 days of now, until we wake and see, rise and take heed. Has Experience 14 expanded your awareness of pools of pain underpinning inner self-awareness wipeout, feeling reactions, and other potential consequences in your private self arena? Gift yourself with spending 7 to 10 minutes at the end of the day, allowing pain realities of one or more of your actions or choices of the day to surface. Gently notice and receive them. Perhaps speak or write them. The next morning, gift yourself with soaking in any particular insight or feeling reaction that you noticed in your private self arena the night before. Experience 11 of layers of feeling reactions in my very own stories that are stored. Experience 12 of how a first pattern of feeling reactions is repeated and becomes a survival strategy to cope with an imperfect world. Experience 13 of how survival strategies impinge on life and living. Experience 14 of inner self-awareness wipeouts in my private self arena that are at first unconscious. Experience 15 of pools of pain. So, would you like to discover some more than aspects that underpin pools of pain? Experience 16. Thank you for being a part of Experience 15.